All right, hi guys, this is the Phebe Swill platform, and in today's program we're going to talk about contraceptives. So we're going to learn about the different types of contraceptives, some of the reported complications that come with it, how to manage it, and also added to that we're going to learn about how certain infections can be prevented, because yes, there are a lot of all those things we'll talk about today. And to guide us through that, to teach us today, we have Octavia Johnson, who's the Quality Assurance and Compliance Manager for Stopes. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so let's start with contraceptives. First of all, we talk a lot about contraceptions. Contraceptives, are they just about preventing unwanted pregnancies?
Well,
is that only what contraception is about?
Yes. Preventing unwanted pregnancy. But in a nutshell, we use contraceptive not just for preventing pregnancy, but to space that.
Okay.
So, I just want to give a definition on family planning.
Go on.
Yeah. So, family planning is about couples or individuals that come together and decide when they want to start having children, how far apart they want to space the children, and when they want to stop having children. So basically that is family planning. But it also involves another aspect.
Which is?
It's about some people have been having unprotected sex, they want to have children, but it is difficult for them to conceive. So all that is included in family planning. So those people that are having difficulty to conceive can come in for family planning services. They will be guided on how they can get pregnant, or whether it's a medical condition, they could be treated. So in a nutshell, family planning is about childbearing, when you want to start, spacing, and when you want to stop, and how many children you want to have. So that is about family planning, and it is only the use of contraceptive that can help you space your birth.
Okay. Now let's focus on the contraceptives themselves. The most common contraception comes, we know here, comes more for women, and of course we do have contraceptions for both men and women. Are they the same?
No, they are not the same. Now, for men, the only contraception we have is the male condom for now. There is no other contraception for male. But for female, we have several types. And these are grouped under 3 categories. We have the long-term family planning methods. These ones will protect you from unwanted pregnancy, maybe from 1 year up to 10 years. You have the ones that will last for 3 years, those that will last for 5 years. So, among these long-term contraceptive methods, we have one, the implants, which
Captain band.
Yes, captain band. There are 2 types of the captain band. We have the one that lasts for 3 years. It will protect you against unwanted pregnancy for 3 years. And it is called level plant.
As you do, I'll be taking notes of those as well. Yes, let's go.
Okay. It is called level plant implant. It will protect you against unwanted pregnancy for 3 years. Then we have the Jadel implant, which will protect you from unwanted pregnancy for 5 years. And then in the long-term contraceptive, we have the last one, which is the IUD or coil. This one will protect you for up to 10 years, 10 to 12 years. They are very effective and they are reversible contraceptive methods.
Okay.
Whenever you want to stop and have your babies, you can stop and you will return to fertility.
Okay.
So that is the category of the long-term contraceptive.
So it's grouped into two. There's
It's
long
three. We
term.
have three groups.
So there's long term, there's short term, and what's the third one?
Permanent method.
Permanent. Okay, let's hear about the short term.
Okay.
Just to be clear, the long term, you said there's three. There's the level plant which lasts for 3 years. There's Jadel implants that lasts for 5 years, and there's IUD, which is called, that's 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
So what are the ones under the short term?
Okay, the short term we have the injectable depot injection, which is taken
Injectable deco.
depot, DEPO.
Okay,
depot.
depo.
Yeah?
Oh,
It is given at 3 months interval.
how long does it last?
3 months.
Oh, okay, so
system.
it's
will
up
protect.
to you when
Yes.
you want to stop.
Yes.
Okay, every 3 months.
Yes, it protects you for 3 months before you can take another dose.
Okay, no wonder they're short term.
Yes. Another one is the oral contraceptive, the pills. We have various types. We have combined oral contraceptive and we have the progestin only contraceptive. When I say combined oral contraceptive, I mean that it has two hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone.
Okay.
That is called the combined oral contraceptive. And an example of that one is the microgynon, which has two hormones which people usually use to protect them against unwanted pregnancy. But the cycle lasts for 1 month.
So it's just 1 month.
One card will last you for 1 month, but you can get as much as you want to keep you protected from unwanted pregnancy. Yes.
Is there another one under the short term?
Well, then the condom.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the short term methods are basically, they will not last you for more than 3 months. Yeah. So you have to take them again. And like condom is you have to use it on a daily basis if you decide to use condom as a means of contraceptive. So it should be used on a daily basis.
And which one is the permanent contraception?
Okay, the permanent method is basically it's for those people who have had their desired family size.
Okay.
Yes. So it is not reversible. It is done for both men and women.
In the case of men, how is it done?
Well, it's a simple surgical procedure.
When I hear surgery, there's nothing simple about it.
Because you don't even have to stay in the hospital. We can do it and you send you home the same day.
Okay.
Yes, it's a short procedure.
So what does that involve, that procedure? What does it involve? It
involves tying of the tube where the sperm passes onto the vagina. So when that tube is tied and cut, there is no way this man can can impregnate a woman. But this man can still have sexual intercourse, he can still get his normal feelings, but the only thing, he cannot give birth to a child. No more. It is not reversible. You can't have it undo again. Okay. So that is how it is done.
So what about in the case of women?
The female is the same thing. It's also a short, simple surgical procedure.
And what does that procedure involve?
It involves tying of the tubes as well, the fallopian tubes, to be precise, in female. You know, they tie the tube and cut it. So there is no linkage for the sperm to meet the egg in the woman. So it is also permanent. You cannot reverse it. When once you have it, it can't be reversed. So that is why it is very important in deciding the type of contraceptive method people want. If you want a permanent method, make sure you have had your desired family size. In fact, both partners should agree that we want this done. And if you want it done for the female, you can have it. If you want it for the husband, you can still have it. So they need to understand that it is non-reversible. So basically, these are the 3 types of categories that we have, these categories of family planning methods.
So now, as we've got that information, we're going to talk now about some of the reported complications associated with all of them, but we'll come back to talk about that just after the break. We're taking a break. A message from our sponsors, that's Rokel Commercial Bank, Shalima Trading, and Sierra Pharmatech. We'll be right back.
Sim couple allow old and young to make deposits and withdraw cash from their account at any time and anywhere. With Rokel Commercial Bank SIM couple, you can send and receive money at any place and any time. Rokel Commercial Bank don't make life better for we all.
Farmers from across the globe have a strong bond and passion for the soil, which leads to nurturing of the land. What they need is the support of high-performing agricultural solutions. With a wide variety of implements like rotavators, self-propelled combines, disc plow, MB plow, disc harrow, cultivator, reversible MB plow, and other implements. We are confident that the coming years will bring greater results with the trust and confidence of our associates, business partners, and customers on our products and services. Sonalika tractors range from 20 horsepower to 120 horsepower. We are ready to address the coming challenge of food security, highest customer satisfaction, and superior agricultural solutions. For distribution and dealership, contact Shalima Trading Company, 40B Wilkinson Road, Freetown. Telephone 099 909012. Sonalika.
And welcome back. We are at the Golden Tulip Hotel, that's Bima, and this is where we do the broadcasting of the Phebe Swill platform. So today, yes, we're talking about the use of contraceptions. We've learned about the three different categories of contraception. Now, let's look at the reported cases of complications that come along with contraceptions, like the long term, for example, the level plant implants that takes up to 3 years. What are the reported complications that come along with it? Or maybe we could just combine both the implants together. Yeah.
They are real. I wouldn't say complications. Complications are real.
Okay.
I would say side effects.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's put it that way. Yeah. The side effects.
Side effects are.
Yeah, I think that's a better word. Yeah.
Because they are easy to manage.
Yeah.
Side effects does not occur with every client using contraceptive methods. Maybe you can experience side effects, maybe you cannot. But it is very important for people to know the various side effects so that they will be able to use the method. Because people will come back to you, report those side effects if they have not been told that they would experience such. And side effects they can go away without treatment.
Now, but what about the cases of those people who talk about, in some cases, there's excessive bleeding, there's, well, not a periodic cycle of menstruation, because the flow comes like 3 or 4 times a month abruptly, and others would report cases about, well, maybe weight gain, excessive weight gain.
Yeah.
Some would tell you, well, I realized when I started the use of contraceptions, I just started experiencing a serious weight gain. All those things, do they come as really some of the side effects of contraceptions?
Yes, you're right. All of what you have mentioned are side effects, and it depends on the type of method that you are using. You talk of excessive bleeding. When you say excessive bleeding, some people, the usual monthly period, the flow is high, is heavy. Some people have moderate flow, some people have mild flow. Now, for instance, somebody
And
using
some say they experience
spotting,
yes, spotting. So instead of the full circle, it's just spotting.
Okay, it is how the contraceptives method work to prevent pregnancy. So basically, all of the contraceptive methods that have the hormones, estrogen or progesterone, whatever hormones they have, they work by suppressing ovulation. Yes. So when they suppress ovulation, ovulation is about the release of egg. And if that egg is fertilized by a sperm, you will become pregnant. If this egg is not fertilized, then you will have your monthly period. It will shed as monthly period. But if you are taking family planning method with hormones, it suppresses the release of that egg. And so if you release an egg, it will not be an egg that is matured to be fertilized. So suppressing the release of the egg will not give you a normal menstrual period. That is why those people that are taking the hormonal, like the pill, if they have their periods, you will notice one of the pill has a different color at the bottom, which is red. That one is to allow you to have a break from contraception, because it's just a placebo. They are iron tablets for you to get your menses. People here, Africa, they want to have their menses to show that they are not pregnant. Because if you continue taking the hormonal contraceptive, you will not get your menses because ovulation is being suppressed. Yeah? So those of you taking the pill as a method of contraception, you will realize that you will not have the normal flow. As you say, some people complain of this spotting. That is how it works, because it suppresses the ovulation.
But how do these contraceptions work in terms of individuals? Does it work by your individual body type or system? Is there anything that looks at specifics that require the type of contraception you would need?
No.
Okay. So generally, anybody can choose any contraceptive you choose.
Yes, you choose whatever method you want, and you have to start using it and know the changes of what is happening to you. If we have excessive bleeding or any other thing, complication that is in relation to what you are taking, then you will have to go back to the clinic and we'll have to do investigation and find out whether these problems are associated with the method that you are taking. So, but basically, how these methods work to prevent pregnancies, one, as I said, they suppress ovulation. Secondly, they thicken the cervical mucus. Every woman has, some amount of fluid in the vagina. That is, you are born to get that one. So when you want to have sex, that is what makes it easy for the penis to penetrate. But when you are taking contraceptive, it thickens that mucus. So when that mucus is thickened, the sperm is not able to swim up to fertilize the egg. So that is another way it prevents this unwanted pregnancy. The third point is about the uterus. In the womb, usually the womb prepares a soft, fine place for the egg to grow. But when you are taking family planning method, that bed is not being prepared, yeah, it will not accommodate the fetus to grow. So you will have your period.
And this thought that people have that once you're taking contraceptions, it serves as a fertilizer to your womb. And the minute you stop, the chances of you getting pregnant are higher than normal. Is that factual or is it just a myth?
Well, I think it's just a belief, yeah, because as I said earlier on, we have the contraceptive methods that are reversible. When once you stop taking it, you will become pregnant. We have those that are non-reversible. So when people say the family planning fertilizes their womb, I don't know, because some people find it difficult. Remember when I defined family planning to conceive? It's because of there are certain factors that are responsible for that, and so one can be hormonal imbalance. So because these contraceptive methods are made up of these artificial hormones, people think that they can use it to fertilize their womb to get pregnant. Because when you go to your gynecologist, so these are some of the things that will use to treat you to fertilize the womb. But it is not advisable for anybody to just pick up a contraceptive method and say, I will use this to fertilize my womb. It is not advisable.
But then when those side effects emerge, how should the individual manage it? Those who have cases of excessive bleeding or spotting or weight gain, how should it be managed?
Okay, so that is why it is important before giving a method, you do a proper counseling. Let the person know the expected side effects. Some of these side effects are not long lasting. When you start taking the methods initially, they are new to your system. So there is this battle. The system doesn't want to accept it, and the method wants to stay in the system. So you will have this irregular menses for maybe 3 to 6 months, the first 3 to 6 months. After that, it will adjust. Now, for weight gain, there are some methods. That is one side of effect of them. You gain weight. Some people gain weight, some people do not gain weight. So it's not applicable to everybody. You have other methods that people get high menses, heavy menses, like the IUD. That is its own side effect. The IUD increases your menstrual flow. It increases your menstrual cramps. So those are side effects. They can be managed. If the person using the method cannot manage those side effects, they can go to our clinic. We have clinics all over, and we have mobile teams, and we have a free toll network that you can dial. You can call.
Yes, what's that?
3535 for Airtel, Africell, and QCell. You can call that number, and you will be given advice.
That's 3535. Now, let's take that as a pause for now. We'll come back to talk more about contraceptions. This is the Phebe Swill platform, and we're here at Golden Tulip Hotel, Kimbima. We'll be back. Here a message from our sponsors, Local Commercial Bank, Shalima Trading, and Sarah Pharmatech.
Sim couple allow old and young to make deposit and withdraw cash from their account at any time and anywhere. With Local Commercial Bank SIM couple, you can send and receive money at any place and any time. Local Commercial Bank don't make life better for we all.
Farmers from across the globe have a strong bond and passion for the soil, which leads to nurturing of the land. What they need is the support of high-performing agricultural solutions. wide variety of implements like rotavators, self-propelled combines, disc plow, MB plow, disc harrow, cultivator, reversible MB plow, and other implements. We are confident that the coming years will bring greater results with the trust and confidence of our associates, business partners, and customers on our products and services. Sonalika tractors range from 20 horsepower to 120 horsepower. We are ready to address the common challenge of food security, highest customer satisfaction, and superior agricultural solutions. For distribution and dealership, contact Shalima Trading Company, 40B Wilkinson Road, Freetown. Telephone 099 909012. Sonalika.
Welcome back. A message from our sponsors there. We're still here at Golden Tulip Hotel and we're talking about contraceptions. Now, managing those, how risky is it for methods like the IUD, the coil? Is it safe entirely?
Well, I wouldn't say it is 100% safe, but it is about 99.9% safe.
Okay.
It is very, very effective in protecting you from pregnancy.
Minus the pregnancy, yeah, because the coil, based on the small research I did before we had the interview, it's a coil that is being inserted. So I'm worried. What if there's an instance of maybe a fight? Is it affected? Does it shift? Is there a possibility for it to be shifted?
What kind of fight?
The coil I'm talking about, the IUD.
Yeah, the fight.
Yeah, maybe the individual engages in a physical fight. Does that affect you? Does it shift?
No, not at all. When once it is in place, it will not shift. It will only shift maybe if this person is having heavy menstrual flow. But it is not, it doesn't occur like that. It's very, very rare. As I say, it is 99.9%.
And the 0.001% that it happens to, how dangerous is it in that situation?
Well, some people might get pregnant while the coil is in the uterus and it is not correctly placed or it has shifted from its correct position.
In such cases, how do you rectify it?
Well, when we get those such cases, as I say, they are rare. But these people need to visit the clinic and we do some investigation to find out the position of the coil and whether the client is pregnant. So we do a scan, ultrasound scan, which will tell us whether the coil is in place or there is pregnancy. And from there, we will cancel the client. We have to talk with the client to know what is the position of this person. So basically, it depends on what the person wants us to do for her. And as I say, it is rare. It is very, very rare. It will occur again if the provider who inserted the coil, the IUD, does not have the required skills and that person is not well trained. But I bet you, if you go to someone who is trained like Mary Stopes, it is difficult to have such complications. Yeah.
Now, I think we'll take a break there with the contraceptions, and let's focus on how to manage your sexual organs. All of us, everybody gets to use public toilets every now and again. And there are times when people find themselves having infections that can also be sexually transmitted to their partners. But then I want us to talk about how do you manage it in a way that even when you go to use these public toilets, you know, when you visit in Freetown, even when you go to offices, some offices, the toilet facility, it's nothing to write home about. It would surprise you to see that even big so-called well-established institutions, they face that sanitation problem. So how do people manage it, both male and female? How do you manage it in a way that even when you use public toilets, you minimize the risks of you taking home infections?
Okay, thank you very much, Vivian. What I want you to know and everybody to know that when you say sexually transmitted infection, these are infections that are transferred through sex. So, going to the toilet, using public toilet, you cannot get sexually transmitted.
No, but let's
infection.
understand it. You can't get an STI, but you contract an infection which you can now pass on to your partner through sex. So indirectly, it becomes an STI as well.
Yes, that is why I'm saying, if you go to the toilet, except you have to take your private parts and rub it or take some of the things that
So
are
what's
there.
the possibility of people getting infections from using public toilets that are not properly taken care of?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, now,
except
yes,
you
let's
have to
understand it now.
take everything and rub
So there's
on your
no
private part.
possibility
You
for that
can't
to
get
happen.
it. Even if you use the toilet, you can't get it because you have not taken part of it to your private part.
So infections, people don't get infections from any other means, I would say, only through sex.
No, we have sexually transmitted infections. There are other infections which you can get from other means.
Okay, what are those infections and what are the means?
Even from the toilet. If you go to the toilet, you don't wash your hand properly, you take your food and eat, you will get infection and you will have running stomach. Those are different types of infection. There are other infections that, as we are seated here, we have droplet infection. You cough, you will transfer the infection to other people.
No, let's not open the box wide to that level.
Okay.
Infections that are limited that you get through your sexual organs.
That is what I'm saying. You get it from your partner.
So that's what I'm
sex.
asking. So that only happens through sex?
Yes, there are some sexually transmitted infections that can be transmitted through blood and body fluids, like HIV and AIDS, hepatitis, they can be transmitted. But basically, when we say sexually transmitted infection, if you talk about gonorrhea, talk about syphilis, chancro, those are transmitted through sex.
Now, so using unclean, unkept, and filthy public toilets, what does that do to you?
It's about hygiene. It interferes with your hygiene.
Okay.
As I have just mentioned, the example I gave, if your toilet is not kept, that is where you go to have your bath, you want to
So
pass
it does
urine
nothing
or whatever.
negative to you?
It
No,
does.
as in, again, let's limit it to the context of your sex organs. Using unclean public toilets, regardless of whatever sickness or disease somebody else that used it previously before you has, is there any risk you're exposed to, any health hazard you're exposed to?
Yes, you are exposed to health hazard somehow. Now
How?
again, we are talking about HIV, hepatitis, and body fluids.
Is there a possibility to contract those through using a toilet?
Yes, now let's say somebody has just used the toilet who is infected with HIV or hepatitis or those bloodborne diseases, and the seat of the toilet has the body fluid or blood of that individual. And if you are the next person to use the toilet and you have a cut, sometimes we don't even know that we have cuts. You sit on that toilet, it will not affect your private part, maybe your thigh, where you sit, where you have the cut. The infection will be transferred through that cut.
No matter how tiny the cut is.
Yes.
So in that
You can
situation,
get it.
how do we prevent such things from happening?
Okay.
How do you use the toilet in a way that you avoid getting such things? You avoid the risk of your exposure to those things.
That one should be done by the institutions, our homes. We have to keep our toilets clean.
But for you, the
And
individual,
for-
when you're faced with such a situation or a circumstance, what do you do to keep yourself safe?
You go to the hospital if you know you have contact somebody's body fluid or whatever. You go to the
No,
hospital.
but obviously
But
those
what-
things you always you really
you don't know.
know.
Yes, except when you begin to get signs.
But
and
then
symptoms.
I'm saying now, from the point there in the toilet, what do you do? Say you go in to use a toilet and it's a public toilet. Let's say it's maybe at a restaurant or a bank or maybe even your office, and then it's a toilet that is messed up, but you really need to go. So you're either, again, which is not safe, keeping your bladder full for too long. It has its own health hazards. Or there are times you're really so pressed, you just really need to go. What do you do? How do you use the toilet to prevent yourself from contracting anything you did not take into that room?
Phoebe, it depends. It's up to you now. You know how pressed you are. Huh? You make sure maybe you call for them to clean or you use another toilet. What I'm still insisting on is that.
What about the method of people in the village? Those, sorry, I'm not stereotyping. Please, pardon that. I'm not stereotyping. You know, our old people used to do that, or even if you go to the villages where, especially for women, they don't sit, they squat. Does that also work?
If you are comfortable with it, Phoebe.
Yeah, so those are the things
If you
I'm
are
asking, like,
comfortable
how
with
do you manage that
squat.
situation? What do you
can
do?
even sit, Phoebe. That does not mean you are going to get that infection to you immediately or at that point. You don't know whether that person even has infection that has used the toilet before. So you use your toilet and you make sure when you finish, you clean your hands, you wash your hands.
Minus the hands, again, back to the private parts. Using water to clean up, or maybe a wipe or tissue, does that also help?
Yes, you know, we have a mixed belief here. Some people use tissue, it is acceptable. Some people use water. Whatever is comfortable for you, you can use. But one thing I want to make clear, we are talking about how to keep our sex organs clean. People should not use harsh soap to clean their private parts, both male and female. The other thing that they should not do is just use lukewarm water and clean yourself. That will be okay. The other thing that they should not do is about putting their fingers into the vagina, saying they are cleaning their vagina. That one is totally wrong. And some people are using their pants, they're using small face towels to clean their vagina. There is no need for you to clean your vagina. Your vagina is not dirty. If God had wanted you to clean it, it would have been out like our face we wash daily. So there is no need for you to clean. It is not dirty, yeah? I said it earlier on. We have normal fluid, women. We have normal discharge that should be there. God made us and He gave us. We should keep it there, that normal discharge. But when the discharge becomes offensive, it has odor, it has color, then there is need for you to go to the hospital so that they will know what type of discharge is this. As I said, discharges are signs, could be a sign of STI. So if you have excessive discharge, you need to go to the hospital. Now, going back to the private part, in the vagina, the tissue, the muscle that is in the vagina, it is not like the one on our skin. It is so fragile, you know. It is not as hard as this. So there is no need for you to use that towel. We need it the way it is. You keep it that way, yeah? There's no need for you to put your finger or towel. It will damage what should be kept there, okay?
Well, thank you very much. With that said, I'm going to let you have an encounter. Do you guys have questions for her before we let her go? Yes, go on with your question. Yes, just be audible.
For me, I want to ask if you have already taken your captain ban or contraceptives for 5 years or 3 years, how can you experience your menstrual period? Is it 2 months or by weeks, 2 weeks or month?
Okay, thank you very much. There is no fixed time frame for you to have your menses. Yeah. Now, people have a menstrual cycle. Sometimes people see their menses after every 28 days. Some people 30, and so on and so forth. Now, when you are taking a contraceptive like the one you have just asked, the implant, it has a hormone. It has progestin hormone. It suppresses ovulation.
So menstruation is not permanent. Is not normal as usual.
You can as I said, in the first 3 to 6 months you can have irregular menses, and depending on your makeup, some people will be without menses for a whole longer period when they are taking the implant. Some people will be having spotting, small menses,
which means the menstruation is not complete.
Yes, it's not complete.
It comes
You have
across to
irregular.
heavy.
That is the side effect of it. You have irregular menses with implants, yeah. But as long as you have the implant in situ, you must be sure that you are not pregnant, except when you remove it.
All right. We could do a few more questions. Yes, let's hear from you.
Yes, I just want to ask a simple question. Concerning the implant. Does it have any connection to cancer cause it's a queen?
Is it cancerous?
Implants, no. I would say no. I know where your mind is going. It's about the implants that you use for breast. You know, people that are doing
those that do
plastic surgeries.
yes.
Yeah. This is a different implant, and it does not cause cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to ask: is contraceptive available for children below the age of 18?
Now, contraceptive is for people who are having unprotected sex and they do not want to get pregnant. It's not for people who have not started having sex, yeah?
So in other words, if somebody below the age of 18 is sexually active, do they have access to contraceptions?
Yes, they do, but with the consent of their parents,
or guardian,
because they are underage.
Yes, okay, thank you. Yes, I'll take the lady at the back. Yes, then we'll come back.
Yes, ma'am. Having heard about the various types of contraceptive, I might want to know what are the age limits towards the types of contraceptive.
We don't have age limits, yeah? But as I say, if you are under 18 years, you must get the consent of your parents. And I want to advise you, anybody under 18 years that is not sexually active, please stay like that, yeah? Maintain your virginity until you finish your schooling, yeah? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the lady at the back.
After experiencing a continuous menstruation period for 3 to 4 weeks, taking the for 5 years, what advice can you give to the person?
Okay, we'll take that other one too. So we'll just wrap up quickly and then we allow her to summarize.
What advice can you give to a person who do not experience his monthly period permanently?
Without contraception. Somebody who is not using contraceptions but has issues with their menstruation. Okay. Yes, let's take you.
I want to know if contraceptive prevents you from HIV or AIDS.
It's about the conversation we were having with her just now. You asked her if somebody's used a public toilet and you met the place untidy. You come in and watch the place it's untidy, and you are blessed. You don't want to leave your bladder like that. So the only
option is to use the toilet. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible for you, like Phebe Swill said, that to squirt? Is it possible for you to squirt and the drops of the urine to come
splash back up?
Yeah. Is it possible for you to have
to contract something from?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes, that's it.
What about, for example, if you are seeing a period? For example, maybe you saw it today and tomorrow it stopped. What does that mean?
Okay. Any other question? Yes, my dear. Go on.
When someone is messing in a month twice, is it a problem or what?
When you are not using contraceptive?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll take those as the questions. So for questions that you had already answered, you can skip those. But to questions that really are new that require an answer, please speak to those.
Maybe the first one from the back.
Yes, just give answers to those. Yeah.
What was the question again? You know, I can't remember the first one from the back about.
Well, I said after experiencing
Okay, fine. Hold it there. Now you said you've had the implant for 5 years, right? 5 years, you should go for removal. Yeah, the implant must be removed, and if you still need further protection, you can reinsert another implant. Now for the spotting, that's the side effect of implant.
So
if you have that prolonged spotting, you can go to one of our centers. We can give you something
so,
to control that.
two of them asked a similar question. People who have irregular periods who are not on contraception.
Okay, fine. Now, irregular periods who are not on contraception, you need to see your doctor. Now, for young girls who have just had their first period, maybe they have their period this month. Maybe they can be without period for 2-3 months. You know, the period will not be regular at that initial stage, yeah?
For how long would it be irregular?
Maybe up to 1 year, 1 year, 6 months for young girls.
So it's absolutely normal.
Yes, but you must be careful not to get pregnant if you are sexually active. You must go for family planning services. Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we let you go, kindly take the girls through the cycle, the menstrual cycle.
Okay. So as I said earlier on, some people have 28 days, 30. You know, it depends on the individual. Now, from the first day of your menses, some people have about 7 days, 5 days, the most you can have your menses. Yeah. So from that time, when you have your menses, day 1 up to day 14, you finish your menses maybe the 5th day. Yeah. From that day up to that day 14, yeah. 12, 13, 14, on the 14th day, it is likely that you will ovulate. And when you ovulate, if you have sex during that period, you will become pregnant. That is very, very important for you to know, yeah? During that period, it is likely for you to become pregnant. After that period, 1 week after that period, then you can have a sex time. You can have sex because the menstrual cycle now is preparing. You will get your menses at the end of that.
So how do you use your cycle to determine when your next period is due?
As I said, from day 1 to day 14, you ovulate. From day 14 to the next days, you are thinking of having your next menses. So that is how the menstrual cycle works for you people. It is very important for you to know your cycle, because some people are 28 days, some people are 27, some people are 30. So you need to know your cycle. Day 1 to day 14, the 5th day is your menses.
So if someone places a call to 3535, would they be able to access all these information?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can call 3535.
Ladies and gentlemen, would like to thank you, Madam Octavia, for being a part of it. Well, you're wondering where the gentlemen are. They are behind the cameras. Don't worry, they're in here. So thank you very much, Madam Octavia, for taking your time to teach us. And thanks to Marie Stopes for making us enjoy this experience of learning about contraceptions and taking care of our sexual organs and then the menstrual cycle. Thank you very much. And thank you for being a part of the Phoebe Swill platform. Thank you.